Question I have for you, given that I trust you so, is Donald Trump, a lot of my friends say, okay, he's made mistakes, and okay, January 6th, and okay, this and that, it is his policies that we'd be voting for. Given that pragmatic side also, do you think he is emotionally fit to be president of the United States? I disagree. I think that Trump and Biden will be the candidates, that whatever that says about the United States. Is he fit to be president of the United States? Is Donald Trump fit to be president?
This is the way I'll answer that, Geraldo, which is, if you believe in his policies, he's what he's advertising is his policies. He's the last person who could actually execute them and achieve them.
Damn! Okay, now as much as this is a damn moment, okay, can we stop that for a minute? I want to preface that no matter how much water spillage there is after the Trump administration, Bill Barr had no problem carrying it while Trump was in office, so I'll keep the red carpet coiled for now. What this does offer is an insight into what the workings of a Trump administration looked like. You know, turmoil, hypocrisy, and the need for relentless image rehabilitation afterwards. These comments were from former Attorney General Bill Barr, as he said that President Trump will deliver, quote, chaos and horror if he returned to the White House in 2024.
Filled with admiration for the way you kept being relatively friendly with the president, the way you kept the walls from falling in, kept him from absolutely cracking up during Russia, and, as he was being assailed nonstop. Mm-hmm. Having said that, I think January 6th was more profoundly disruptive and more serious than maybe some of your remarks, but you are my favorite person in Washington. I think the most honest person in Washington.
Thank you.
And the question I have for you, given that I trust you so, is Donald Trump, a lot of my friends say, okay, he's made mistakes, and okay, January 6th, and okay, this and that, it is his policies that we'd be voting for. Given that pragmatic side also, do you think he is emotionally fit to be president of the United States? I disagree. I think that Trump and Biden will be the candidates, that whatever that says about the United States. Is he fit to be president of the United States? Is Donald Trump fit to be president?
This is the way I'll answer that, Geraldo, which is, if you believe in his policies, he's what he's advertising is his policies. He's the last person who could actually execute them and achieve them. He does not have the discipline. He does not have the ability for strategic thinking and linear thinking or setting priorities, or how to get things done in the system. It is a horror show when he's left to his own devices. And so you may want his policies, but Trump will not deliver Trump policies. He will deliver chaos and, if anything, lead to a backlash that will set his policies much further back than they otherwise would be.
Barr, who served as Attorney General for Trump and former President George W. Bush, was in Cleveland when he made these remarks, of course discussing his new book. But there seems to be a trend here. This was just one former MAGA nut who was trying to cash in the aftermath. We'd toss it into the the trash. But let's pull the tape via Democratic Senator Jared Moskowitz to remind everyone about what countless Trump appointees have said about him and him about them.
And that, we heard that, we should hire people on merit, like Trump did. Well, certainly wasn't merit when he hired his children into the White House. I'm not the only one who thought the hiring procedures from the Trump administration were pretty bad. One of Trump's own allies just said a couple weeks ago that he loves President Trump, but his HR was horrible. In fact, quite frankly, it's President Trump himself that says, quite frankly, his hiring procedures were quite terrible. John Bolton, who worked in the Trump administration, Trump called him a wacko and a sick puppy. Jeff Sessions, who was hired by Donald Trump, was called mentally unqualified. John Kelly, who was hired by Donald Trump, Trump said he was way over his head. Rex Tillerson, who was hired by Donald Trump, he was dumb as a rock. Nick Mulvaney, who was hired by Donald Trump, says, if there's one criticism that I would level against the president, is he didn't hire very well. So I'm again perplexed. Here we are yet again had another hearing where we want to talk about, going back to, Trump's good old days, and now we want to bring back Trump's hiring procedures because, they're trying to score some points for you. But, HR wasn't really a strong suit.
It's just constant backstabbing and power grabbing, which actually speaks volumes as to why we can't allow a repeat in 2024. Nonetheless, no matter how much Bill Barr trashes Trump these days, he was still very much an architect of the mayhem, a yes man to somebody who endangered lives and democracy. So for those reasons, his book will get tossed into the Marjorie.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.